Hello everybody, Natalia here, and we will start tutorial number 3. Have to start and finish your beaded cross stitch, and today I have very different tutorial how you can start your beading in third way, and I think this is my favorite and I hope you will like as well. So first time what we did, when we thread our thread into the needle, we would put knot on this side. And how I do knot, guys, I do, that's how my mom teach me. I grab my two threads together, I rub once, and then I kind of like turn my fingers and then I pull, and that's how I do my knots, the way my mom teach me. But in this example we not gonna need that. I'm just gonna cut this out. So what we do in this example, we will thread our nylon thread through the needle in different way. It is still double, but this this piece that we don't have a knot will be short one, and then from the needle this way go, and we have this kind of end. Okay, so this needle are really like, this is beaded needle but still have a very tiny loop to thread. I still manage kind of to go through this hole once without any helper. I guess my eye is still good, but to thread double I just could not do it. And then I remember I have this little tool that can help, which one, this piece came out broken already, and I tried to thread through this two threads together, but because this hole in here is so tiny, it wouldn't work. So what I did, I put this through the hole, put one thread first, pull out, then put again through the hole and pull out my second thread. So because like I just couldn't find, I do have needles somewhere that I have a bigger opening here. So but if you know, if you don't have it and you have a same one with the small hole, you can just thread with this little helper one thread by one. So now we have this. Okay, this is my ends and that part that we will be stitching. Now how we're gonna stitch our third way? Here is where we finish. And let me zoom a little bit close to here. This is where we finish, and if you remember, we were zigzagging in here in my second video tutorial. So this time we're gonna start from front. It doesn't matter if you go this way or you turn your canvas this way. You can start in both way. You just have to remember to follow the same direction as this thread. So here is how more comfortable for me. And if your fabric already like a big piece and it's hard to hold it, because the more beads you stitch, then more harder it's gonna to hold. So what you can do, you can just roll like this. Okay, you can roll and just pinch a fabric with something to keep in place. But my piece still kind of fit in my hand. So what we're gonna do, I'm gonna go from the front of my canvas, from this empty space where I have that thread, like so. Okay, you see what I have? That's the part where we finish, and my needle go exactly on the same position, and I do double stitch to the back and come out from the front at the same time. Now we're gonna pull our thread hopefully not to get a knot. I would suggest to start with the small thread, but I always go for the longer. Now you pull just enough so you have kind of like a little loop in here, okay? And then you just a little tangle up in here, okay? And then you go into your loop from the bottom to the top like that, and go, and then slowly pull so it doesn't tangle up. Okay, you see what happening? You make a loop in here, and from this side it's just gonna be nice and neat stitch there. Now there's under, I have a red color of the bead, so I'm gonna pick the bead and I will go like, now I'm not gonna stitch my last bead, I can come back later if I want to, but I'm gonna go, because my thread now finish in here, so I'm gonna go stitch in here and come out from here. Okay, so here is what I'm gonna do. Let me just go in. At this point you can turn around if you're more comfortable and just go horizontal coming out like I usually do, but let's just not to confuse anybody, we're gonna go this way. So we're gonna stitch there, pull it out, oopsie, out of the camera focus. Okay, I pull it out and here is the bead. Why is it after focus? Here's the bead that we just stitched, so we came there and we're gonna come out horizontal, in here, okay, on the same line, pull it out. So now for me it's more comfortable when I do from right to the left, so I don't have to kind of like stitch from this side. So now I'm gonna flip upside down this way. I'm gonna turn, okay, why it's not focusing? Okay, so we just stitched this bead, as you can see it's lined up together, and this way we didn't do any knots, and you cannot see that how we connect this bead to the canvas. So this is like the cleanest way to do it. And now you just do your regular thing. Now you just, you know, do the next bead whatever you want to go from here this way, and you just go from right to the left, from right to left, and pick your beads in order color that you need. So this is number 3 tip for you, how to start your beaded cross stitch. And I really like this idea the best, I think, because it's secure really well. You don't have a knot on the other side of your canvas. It looks nice and clean, and if you decide to sell as well, it's gonna look nice and neat, not like just a messy. So continue work this way, and I will show you later on my setup, how I do the other way to set up my beads. So I don't have too many colors in here, like I don't have a black anymore, or yellow, or dark green, so I just put in here my setup for now. This containers, it's like little ashtray or maybe glass, like a coaster. So I put in here, for example, I put red and few browns, because I only need in here like what, 1, 2, brown bead, or maybe here third. So I just put into this container second color, so that's not big deal at all. Now I have the other red, and I don't put beads too many. I have my container in here that's next to me, so every time I need refill I just put a little bit, just for in case, you know, accidents. We don't want any accidents, so I just refill as I need it. Then I have a little bit of pink, and this one is I call it darker pink, but really it's like almost the same color, but I can't recognize them. They are different because this one have a pinkish kind of centers. Okay, and then in here I have one color green and different color green. So for now I work with these colors, and that's more than enough for me. So if you want to do a little bit together, let's go ahead and do together. Okay, so basically the way I work, I flip my canvas, you know, in like I'm just flipping it in each side, whatever is more comfortable. So there's no right or wrong way. It depends how comfortable for you to work. So now with this example of our first stitch, you just have to remember not to pull the second thread out of your needle. Like the first way was all secure. Now those ends are open, right? So make sure don't lose them. Just usually I'm kind of like a secure keeping in my fingers in here, so the thread wouldn't slip away from my holes. And let's do together, guys. This is so fun to do. I'm totally loving it, and I do appreciate, guys, all your comments and your thanks for the tutorial. It's my pleasure, and I'm really happy that you can learn something from me. Okay, now I do make a tutorial how to organize your bead setup better than would be those dishes, so you need to stay tuned for my next episode of how to bead. Okay, have to catch, oh my goodness, those beads are so tiny, it's hard to catch. If you don't have a beading needle, specific needle for beads, you have to make sure find one that is really thin on this side, so your beads would go through, because sometimes beads has really tiny centers and not every bead would go through this part. So this is the beading needles and go very easily through these beads right now that I'm working on. Now we need darker pink. Because my thread is long, and when it's go off the table, it keep catching up to my tripod. Ay, ay, ay. Now made me mess in here. Always pull, even like this, just to make sure it's not tangled. And fix the tension of your thread. Make sure it's go to your needle nice and straight. Okay, maybe I should zoom out a little bit. I had to close my blinds a little bit because sun hit so hard that makes like a blind spot on the canvas. Very often when you are so into the beading, you can grab a bead and make a stitch without beads, so you have to really pay attention to grab a bead every single time before you stitch. And very often your thread could catch up behind this corner, so make sure it goes smoothly. Now we have row of the same green color, so I'm just gonna grab this dish close to me, and that's kind of like easy way not to mess with your other. It looks like now camera focusing on this dish. Ha! See that? Okay, I have to move aside. That's funny. More and more popular bead and cross stitch start to get a little bit in Canada and US, which is always nice to see that finally this country start to pick it up, something that people doing for years and years already. Pay attention on the tension of your thread, not to pull fabric too hard. Sometimes, like in this example, bead catch on my last row, so you can just push away. If you have a big canvas, it's easier to work maybe to stretch on a frame, and then you have to go like in the canvas from under the canvas, but then two of your hands would be available to help. And if you do not have stretcher, it's the best way to roll your canvas and pinch with something like some kind of clips to keep it together, so it's easy for you to work. Or when its canvas get too big and heavy, you just can like put flat on your table and try to work kind of this way if you can hold anymore, because some canvases could be like 12 by 12 inches, like big ones, right? This one is really tiny, and I do not have here measuring tape, but guys, in my next video, or maybe even later on if I remember, I will measure and tell you how big this picture, but it's really not big. It's, see, like it's, my hand can cover. It's a tiny one. And same as diamond painting, I would love to have a bigger canvas, because the bigger canvas is more fun no matter what you're doing. I will try to order more beads. I might gonna even order from Preciosa, from Czech Beads. I believe it's size 10 that we need. Size 11, I'm not sure if that's gonna be too small or not, because you know guys, the bigger number, that smaller beads. So kind of go like a opposite way, so you remember. Don't think that when you order, you know, if you say for example between 11 size and 15, and you would think if number bigger, then you would have a bigger beads. No, it's go in opposite direction. The bigger number, the smaller beads. So I will try to order. I didn't finish what I was trying to say. And I have white cross stitching canvas fabric that I have some stitching books that I bought long time ago, maybe like 15 years ago, and there's a whole bunch of stitching pictures up there, and we can stitch like right from the scratch, but you just will have to count all the way and make sure you don't mistake on a bead count. So it's kind of harder but still fun. Each bead I fix a little bit, kind of pushing, but when you're gonna do next row, your beads will be more pushed to each other and will line up nicely. Alright, so I see you in a little bit. Thank you everyone who's still here, didn't run away. I want to show you how much I did by now. Looks beautiful. A little bit left. Oh, I think it's one more row, and this rose, not rose but poppy flower, will be finished. It looks beautiful. Now I'm gonna show you, I'm gonna flip on another side and show you difference between our stitches, how we start in first video and the second video. And now let me just tell you guys, here's the difference. If you can see, okay, so this is the first example how to start, and you can see how many knots in here. And now since this point somewhere around here, I think I started to do this technique number 3, and look how beautiful that look. No knots, nicely. You can see kind of where I finish or where I start, little bit of zigzag, but it's really neat and clean looking. So that's to make a difference. And I want you to pick the example what is easy for you, and that's okay if you would have a knots in here. You know, just if it's easier for you to just to tie up the knot and that's it, then that's how you do it. But yes, so the third way I would say is my favorite, but if I want to do quick, and I would just do this way as well, doesn't matter. So I just wanted to show you the difference between this, and also let's recap about if you, oopsie, sorry, touch my tripod. Just the difference depends how you go. If you go this way lines, your stitches will go this way. If you go this way, the stitches will go horizontal. So it changes on the background, but your beads, that's the most important thing. Just make sure your beads line up all in one direction. And I'm going to show you an example. Let me get this needle out here, and I'm going to grab one bead, and I'm just going to show you how this gonna look like if you would put bead in a wrong position. So let's say, let me try to, if I would do not this way, as you can see in here, if I would put bead the other way, you will automatically see that the bead, which one is it? Hold on, I still didn't do right, I think. So if I would do this way or this way, I can't even do wrong. So anyway, if you would put this bead in a wrong position instead of the other way, you would see the difference later on. It would be visible. So now, as for example, oops, it's the other way. If I want to finish and I work with these dishes, and some of them I have two colors, like in here, dark, a little bit hard to see, dark green and light green, so that's okay even if they mix together. Just if you know, get used to the colors which you have. Since I don't have too many colors, just 3 different shades, so it's easy for me. I remember which color I have between those 2 lightest one. So, and when I finish, I'm just kind of like stack my dishes on the top of each other, and then I just can take it away to my craft room, or just cover with something on the top and just leave in here on my desk somewhere in the corner. So what I want to show you now, guys, one more tip, since you are so awesome and you're still here, and thank you for sticking with me to the end of this video. I'm gonna give you one more tip maybe you did not know about. Who knows, right? I have lots of idea. The thing is, I can't really give you as much tips as I would love to, because this is partial. So with full, I would have a few more ideas for you, a little bit different, but I can kind of tell you one thing. If this would be full drill, not the drill, I keep mistaken with diamond painting, see, too much diamond painting lately. If this would be full bead cross stitch, I would suggest each bead on the end of the frame always double stitch. That way will keep you other beads in place nice and tidy, instead of usually last bead can be wobble and look in a different way. So this way. So now let's pretend you have a big canvas, much bigger than mine, and it's a full cross stitch, and you have let's pretend you have lots of this color. Then you don't need any other color to mix on your dishes, and you just working like this, just like a light green color. So very easy. Let's say this is your canvas. I'm gonna change position of my camera a little bit, and I have in here kind of like a scotch tape that I bought from dollar store. This big roll cost me $4. You can use painter. Sorry if you hear my puppy walking around. You can use painter tape as well. You can cut piece, and I'm just gonna cut a little piece in here just for example. Usually if I cut sticky tape, a little bit tip for you, I always fold little corner in here, so easy to find later where is the beginning of your tape if they stick hard. So I might have to, okay, so I would put my tape, pretend this is your big canvas that you work on it, and maybe you have a frame for it. So you put your tape on your canvas, not where your bead, but like on an empty canvas yet. You can pin with your stitch and pins, or you can cut a little bit of this tape. I need to raise my camera a little bit, guys, just a minute, so you can see better what I'm doing here. Okay, so let's just say just gonna cut a little bit more of this tape, sticking all over my hands, and because it's on camera it doesn't work very well, but you will get the idea. For example, you cut nicely piece of this tape. You can use another piece of tape to stick this to your canvas like this. Pretend this is your canvas. It will peel later easy, and do the same thing on this side. Okay, then you grab your beads. Let me pick something in here that I have in my tray. Okay, and put those beads on this tape. Now you just spread them out like so, and then when you're ready to pin, you can just use your needle. Let me zoom a little bit close now and see what's going on in here. Now all your beads is stuck to this sticky tape, and all you need to do is to just stick needle through it and just pick with your nail like this, and you're ready to stitch. And if you want to put away later, you can safely peel this tape, and as you can see, all beads stay on your tape. It will go nowhere. So this is kind of like a spillage hazard prevention. So you're not gonna spill your beads this way, because what happens if your tray got a little bit, tip over, cat or dog or kids maybe knocked down, and it will spill over your floor. So in this way, all beads stack and it stays sturdy. Even if I want to shake it, it's there. So this is something else, for you to consider, how you can work. And you can have this tape like a long strip, and then you put many colors. As little bit, you just pinch and put a little bit color at a time, as many as you work at a time, and that's it. That's how you work. Also, I want to point it out here on something. One of my viewer, and that's Gabri's Colorama. I hope I pronounce your name right. Sorry if I did mistake by pronouncing your name. She said that my rose and my leaves beads pointed out on different direction. So I want to show you here that sometimes the color can play trick with our eyes, but all my beads pointed out in the same direction because I do my stitches same exact way. So let me zoom a little bit close to my canvas and show you that that is not true and not the case. So here is my rose, and all my beads right now, let me get this with the needle. All my beads pointed out in this direction, from left to right. So if we look in here on a rose, okay, here is the hole, and if where we are, okay, here is the hole that I stitched through the beads. You can see that it's going from right to left. They all point same direction. If I do greens, they do the same way. Let's see, maybe this side. I don't know which side she think that my beads laying in different direction, because no matter what I do, let me try to poke this in here, and if we can see in here, go through the beads, it's once again, as you can see, here is going through the beads from right to left. So all my beads go in the same direction. I don't know, probably different color maybe look like it's different direction, but it's not. It's all go in the same, because I stitch same way no matter which side I would go. If I would go in different direction, you would really see it, that because those beads would really stand out, and no matter where I start to show you, they all go on the same angle. So that's just like color of the beads, probably plain ice trick, but they are all stitched in the same way. So that's kind of, I just wanted to clear this up. And as soon as you start doing it, you will see the kind of, you will get used to which direction you need to stitch. And maybe let's do a little bit together, few more stitches. Gonna bring a light to here, just make sure we see good. It's too close, I don't know. Okay, so let's just stitch a little bit together in here. If your thread go in the same direction, you cannot mistake and put beads in different side. They all line up in the same direction, and no matter how you start from left to right or right to left, or you start from bottom of the canvas, you go to the top, or maybe opposite way. You can start from any direction you wish. You just have to follow later same direction of your thread, so the beads line up in same way. So since you put your first bead, that's the way you need to continue through all canvas. My bead size of this one is pretty much good quality, almost the same, but I still found a couple of them that did not go even through my beading needle. So I tossed in the garbage 2 beads so far. That's not bad at all. Okay, no, I don't need the black one, I need light pink. So even between perfect beads, sometimes we can find a little bit, you know, or hole too small, even for the beading needle. I hope so far you like my tutorials. Now black. There's lots of beautiful canvases, that full canvas from Ukrainian magazine, stores. So I email one more store to see if they ship it or not. Did not receive any email yet from the first request that they emailed. I don't know, maybe because that was weekend and nobody there to work. So we'll see what's gonna happen. When you buy in from China, just you need to make sure that, well, or if you buy in the beads itself, let's say you wanna do your bead and cross stitch from scratch, from the clean fabric with no print on it. If you buy in beads, seed beads separately, make sure you buy Japanese beads because they are high quality. Otherwise you will have beads that half of them or you have to toss it or do something different with them. But if they're really different in sizes and disformed, it really will show on your picture. So Japanese beads, usually high quality, they are more expensive, but that's worth it. If you want your project look beautiful, then you have to go for more expensive stuff. Let me put the camera a little bit more angle. Now the red shades. One of my lovely subscribers suggested to put a little bit dots on the red, because I have like a very close shades of red. I suggested to put like dots to separate them so it's more visible, but I do not have washable markers, so I'm just afraid to ruin it. So I'm just like beading as I think it's right, and if it's wrong, nobody will know. Still red. Shiny bead or not shiny bead, they are okay. Make sure your thread not tangle. Okay, I think that because of the different colors, maybe sometimes looked like they line up in different side, I don't know, but as you can see, they all pointed out in the same direction. They're not different, they all go same way. Here's the holes and it's going angle. So I just wanted to clear this out, because that wouldn't be a purpose of me telling you make sure your beads line up in the same direction and do the absolutely opposite, right? That wouldn't be a good tutorial. Trying to catch bead on a tray. It's really not comfortable to do on camera, guys. It's easy to do the diamond painting because your canvas laying on the table, and then here you have to hold in your hands, and sometimes it's tricky. One of my bead fly away. Today, guys, we have what, 5,600 subscribers, so 400 more, and I will pick the winner from my gifts. we are approaching to the number of 6,000 really fast. Thank you very much for all new friends who subscribe. As you can see, I always kind of flick bead into the right direction with my nail, just to make sure it stays nice and tightly and line up all at one direction. Alright, I think that's good for now. Let's see how in here look like from the other side. Okie dokie. The other tip I want to share with you guys, just for in case if you spill your beads on the carpet or on the floor, here's the little mini emoji vacuum that I got it from a dollar store. It has a different faces, so I don't know, depends where you are. I saw many different kind on Amazon as well, so this is good. They work perfectly fine for even drills if you do diamond painting. And I did a little example on my unboxing one time, shopping haul from dollar store. So this is little guy, very easy to, this is just like a button in here, on and off, and you need some battery in here, 2 battery AA, and that's it, and it's ready to go. And it's easy to pick it up beads just for in case you spill it. Alright, see you in my next video.